year, but it is the number one traded financial instrument in the world. And so now we're starting to see this build in our own system, our ecosystem. Like, what is the native yield in DeFi that I need to beat as an investor, as a portfolio offering some sort of yield, right? And then, okay, well, I have to beat this. Can I hedge it? Can I speculate on it? What can I do with this yield? And so now we're seeing all these primitives, these Lego blocks, starting to take different pieces of what this can be, and build out this entire interest rate trading ecosystem. And it's going to be massive, and it's going to be bigger than perpetual swaps on Bitcoin dollar. It's going to be
Hey guys, welcome back to Everyday Finance. In this video, Arthur Hayes discusses about crypto. According to Arthur Hayes believed that the main story in the alt space at the moment is the liquid reeking stuff. And points the points, how do we get points? How many points are there in a drop? When do Arthur Hayes get them? My airdrop tokens are working, which is why you're seeing all this action around. Points and reeking. Arthur Hayes thinks this game is really cool, and he very long pendle, which is basically letting kids you to divide the main token between the risk of the token price and the it gives me a yield, whether it's from getting points to do XYZ or some other kind of staking return. They did a great job, as seen on TV, which is zoomed in on Pendle to show all the liquid awful things either way. That's another company in our portfolio. Their TVL is rocking and rolling, and lots of things Arthur Hayes discuss. So please watch the video to end, and share this video, and subscribe our channel, Everyday Finance. Thanks.
So, I mean, I think right now the biggest narrative in the alt space is sort of the liquid restaking stuff, right? And points, right? The points, what am I going to do if I get points? And what do points equal airdrop? And when do I get my airdrop tokens, right? And so you're seeing all this activity around points and restaking and all this activity. It's really very interesting. And so obviously I'm very long Pendle, which is basically allowing you to split the principal token, the price of the token risk versus the yield that it generates, whether it's from I get points to do XYZ or I get some sort of staking yield, whatever. And they've done very, very well. TVL is zooming on Pendle. Obviously, all the liquid restaking stuff. EtherFi, that's another portfolio company of ours. Their TVL is rocking and rolling as well. I think they're the number one sort of restaking. I don't know how to. By the way, points it's going to be the thing of this cycle. I love it. I just wrote an essay on it. It's coming out in a few days. It's so genius. The genius is they don't really. It's a pseudo promise. It's not a contract. It's not like, oh, I do all this stuff, I get these points, and then I get a certain number of tokens in airdrop. It's like, maybe you get something.
Maybe you don't.
I'll tell you what the price is, and maybe you don't. And you know what? The price may have been 2-to-1. Maybe it's now 5-to-1. Maybe, I'll figure it out later, and just keep doing what you're doing. And maybe I'll tell you what those points are worth in the future. It's genius, because I think that Ethereum has basically created a natively yielding commodity within our space, right? It's the best decentralized computer.
It's the risk-free rate
that powers it.
It's the risk-free rate.
It's a risk-free rate for DeFi. And if we look at interest rate swaps, for example, or interest rate derivatives, is much larger than FX or equity derivatives. So the largest contract traded in the world is a euro-dollar futures contract. I don't know how many quadrillions of notional it trades every year, but it is the number one traded financial instrument in the world. And so now we're starting to see this build in our own system, our ecosystem. Like, what is the native yield in DeFi that I need to beat as an investor, as a portfolio offering some sort of yield, right? And then, okay, well, I have to beat this. Can I hedge it? Can I speculate on it? What can I do with this yield? And so now we're seeing all these primitives, these Lego blocks, starting to take different pieces of what this can be, and build out this entire interest rate trading ecosystem. And it's going to be massive, and it's going to be bigger than perpetual swaps on Bitcoin dollar. It's going to be bigger than real world assets or whatever other things. And so it's going to be so amazingly huge, and you can still get in these protocols, and they're still very, very cheap. And that's why I love it so much. And we're spending a lot of energy, at least at Maelstrom, backing projects that are in this space.
According to Arthur Hayes, it's not a real promise, a deal, or something like, if he do all this stuff, he will get these points and then he will get a certain thing. Lots of coins and an airdrop. It's like, maybe you buy something. Maybe Arthur Hayes checked the price. And maybe you do not do that. And you know what? The price might have been 2 to 1, but it's now 5 to 1. You might know what he mean. He will figure it out later for now. Just keep doing what you're doing. Arthur Hayes may tell you what those are. It's worth points in the long run. He believes Ethereum has a lot of great ideas, basically made a naturally yielding good in our space right now. Rise Gas is the best autonomous computer fuel. It's risk-free for DeFi. And if we look at interest rate swaps, interest rate derivatives are a lot bigger than foreign exchange or stock market swaps. So the euro-dollar futures contract is the one that is sold the most around the world. Arthur Hayes, don't know how many quadrillions of these ideas there are. There are a lot of trades in it every year, and it's the most traded financial asset in the world. This helps us build our own ecosystem and figure out things like what the local yield is, and definitely something he need to beat as an investor as a strategy that gives me some sort of return. And then Arthur Hayes will think, okay, he need to beat this? Can he hedge it? Think about it, what can he do with this yield? And now we're seeing all of these primitives, which are Lego blocks. We are beginning to put together this whole interest rate by taking different parts of what this could be. There will be a huge trading environment that will be bigger than perpetual swaps on Bitcoin. And the dollar, it's going to be so incredibly huge that it will be bigger than even real-world goods or other things. Let's back to the Arthur Hayes interview.
Well, there's also Athena, which is a stablecoin, which is let me take this staking yield, let me create a stablecoin and give some of that yield back to the users and try to go after Tether, right? Now, I hope they can succeed in that. I'll make a lot of money if they do. It's a big, tall order. But at the end of the day, there's all this yield that certain centralized companies are earning. Good on them for putting in the work. I have nothing against places like, Tether and Circle, like great businesses. But the people who are actually giving them the usage, the exchanges, the users get fuck all from these guys and their net interest margin that they're earning by, taking our money and putting it in treasury bonds. Why shouldn't some of that come back to the users? Now, Athena is one project that obviously I'm backing. There's others that are doing. The guy in the team are fucking rock stars. Like, I have mad respect for taking an idea and bringing it forward to execution. They have close to 200 million of TVL already. Mainnet launches in a few months, so we're going to see how they do in the wild. I'm super excited. And then I guess at the end of the day, I'm a very simple guy. I make my money on exchanges. I love exchanges. And I think the centralized exchanges are the future. And there are dominant winners so far. I have positions in DYDX, GMX, as two examples. And I think that there's going to be the retail volume. We'll see how decentralized they really are.
Yes.
As a financial investor, you don't really know because I don't fucking read Solidity or any of these code bases. So you say, they say they're decentralized. Okay, well, we're going to find out really quick. I hope they are, but we'll see. We'll see how GameFi does, but really, I try to keep it simple, right? Concentration. I don't know everything about everything. I don't know a lot of things about everything, but I do a few things about some things, and so I'll just focus my energies there.
According to Arthur Hayes, there's Athena, a stable coin that lets me take this staking return and make a stable coin and try to get some of that yield back for the people right now. He really hoped they can do that. If they do, Arthur Hayes will make a lot of money. It's a big job. But at the end of the day, there's all this output that some centralized companies are getting paid well for the work of nothing against places like big companies that are tied to the ground. But the people who are by giving them the usage fees that exchange users get from these guys, and the net interest gain that they make by taking our money. If you learned something from this video, then please like this video and subscribe our channel Everyday Finance, and we will meet in next video. Thanks.